So that leads us to this last section of the lesson, which is all about the gravity of good relationships. And obviously the old adage of like, look to your left, look to your right, that's who you want to be networking with, not just networking up. That is very true. My entire career, up until the most recent movie I shot, which has not come out yet, up until that film, everything that I made was with the homies. You know, like my very first movie, The Land, obviously Stephen Capel, filmmaker that was in USC grad school with me, right? A movie that I sold, I had, 2019 was when the industry sort of finally saw me as a company and saw what I was doing, because I had a bunch of bidding wars back to back with scripts and studios. So in 2019, we sold a movie called Assisted Living that was a comedy, sort of like a new take on Sister Act, but completely original idea. The writer of that project was Kay Oyegan. Kay is a Nigerian-American sister that was from Philly, but I met her in school as well. She was a year ahead of me in school, and I told her, about this very loose idea. She thought it was crazy, started cracking on me, and in her sort of cracking on me, she unintentionally at the dinner table develops the idea for assisted living, goes off and writes the script for me on spec, which just means for free, like no money. But she was willing to do that because, one, I think she probably saw that I was a hustler and would try my hardest to get stuff made. But two, she also was in a position where she was a big TV writer on a show called This Is Us, which I'm sure many of us have seen. And so she was the highest ranking black woman on that show, if not the only black woman on that show. And because of that, in the feature film space, people thought she just wrote drama because, as somebody said earlier, Hollywood loves a good box, right? So I came to her with this comedy thing because I know that she's funny in person, right? So I'm like, you can do this. So she wrote that on spec. I took it out to the town. Bidding war ensues. We ended up selling it to Paramount. And then maybe a month or two after that, maybe like a month after that, I signed with CAA, which producers typically don't have agents, but at the time it made sense because I knew what I was building. So I signed to CAA. The first week as a client, we sell this movie called Notes from a Young Black Chef, which was based on a book of the same name, to A24 in a bidding war, right? That movie will shoot early next year. Philip Humans is directing it. He directed Burning Cane. He won. If you don't know who Philip Humans is, Youmans, you should definitely look him up. He made a movie called Burning Cane when he won Tribeca at 19. So he was the youngest person to ever win Tribeca. But he shot that movie in high school at 17. Basically like hustling on the weekends, convinced Wendell Pierce to star in it in New Orleans, made this movie. I think he's like 21 now or something crazy, right? And we're making his movie at A24. So that was a bidding war. We sold that to A24. Then right after that, They Clone Tyrone, which I had previously sold as a pitch to Macro the year before. We sold the script with an actor attached. Bidding war ensued. Every studio in town is basically now pitching us on why they should buy the movie, why we should let them buy the movie. We sell it to Netflix in the bidding war, and obviously that movie's out now. Who in here has seen They Clone Tyrone? Dope. Who in here hated it? Okay, good. I want to talk about it, seriously. So everybody else loved it? Okay, dope. So we'll talk about that too, but that was a bidding war, sold it to Netflix. Shortly after that, of course, this is like all in like a 3-month span, right? So I'm just like hitting the town left and right. Who is this dude? What's happening over there? I don't understand, right? But Notes from a Young Black Chef was, again, just people that I was either like working with left and right? Like kind of uprising people, new filmmakers, et cetera. Tyrone was the filmmaker and the writer and his co-writer. They were classmates as well, right? Shortly after that, I sold a movie in a bidding war called Shadow Force, this is the one we just shot in Colombia for 4 months in the country of Colombia last year. It's a big action thing. It was somebody I went to Morehouse with, Leon Shields. Like, he wrote this script. He was assistant for Reggie Hudlin at the time. I read it. We tore it up and built it back together, and then he sold it in the bidding war, attached Kerry Washington, Sterling K. Brown, and sold it to Lionsgate. Right, and then I did a deal with Lionsgate, et cetera. So there was this back-to-back sort of motion, but the point is it all came from people that I networked with to my left and my right, right? Like, I didn't try to go find an action script from some gigantic action writer. I read the homie script and was like, That's dope. I think I can get the juice around that and attach the right people to it to get a good look at it, right? So we get Carey, we get Sterling, take it out, and we sell it. Um, I think that is the most important thing that I've ever done. 100% is making myself available to other creatives that whether they look like me or not, they had a like mind, right? That was so essential to my success so far. And now, obviously, it's funny because I told this story at an agency recently. It was like this big meeting and just sort of telling them what I got going on, and they're pitching me their actors and directors and whatnot. And somebody said, before they pitched their client, they said, everybody you work with sounds like it's just been like friends or family. Like, are you cool with any new people? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I want new people too. But the beginning of my career came from genuine relationships, right? So never forget that. And I would say, honestly, challenge yourself if you're in this room and you intend to be a producer, knowing that there are plenty of writers and directors and actors, et cetera, or if you're more on the business side you want to make more on the business side of the industry, challenge yourself to make yourself available to all these other creatives in this room and in the city and in the other networks you might frequent, because nobody in my circle was interested in being a nuts and bolts producer. Nobody was interested in finding, an idea or IP or in developing scripts and figuring out the budget and the schedule and the marketing and distribution. Nobody was concerned or really excited by the chaos that you have to navigate in the agency system and all of that stuff, right? I love it, genuinely. And so the more I talked about my passion and my purpose, right, the more like-minded creatives who were in other spaces, other channels of the industry, the more they were attracted to want to work together.